If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference, become a moment maker, and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
All right, welcome back. We had a little technical difficulties there, but I think we're all set now.
I think we're good.
Andrew had to find his car.
I did. Thank the Lord there's 5G in Alabama.
Yes, so I think I was in the middle of my announcement. So besides all the other announcements, I also have, I just want to bring up September 11th, Middle Tennessee golf outing, the Corporal Diaz Memorial. Be there or be square.
I signed up for it.
It's a good time.
Well, I'm gonna donate a bunch of money for a hole. So
yeah. Right on. So that's all I got. What do you got? I know you got some Ton Tavern stuff to talk about.
I do. I have. Well, actually, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to TSP, the Scuttlebutt podcast, because we were able to take 4 divers on an adventure today. We had a Navy guy, Air Force guy, a Marine recon who knew. It's funny, Alex, this guy that I dove with today, he knew Alexi Whitney. He was in recon with Alexi. Swear to God.
Small world.
So I paid it forward to all 4 of these guys from TSP, the Scuttlebutt, because our 2 guys that were supposed to come, they canceled at the last minute. They couldn't do it. They had personal issues going on. And so I found, it was like chock full of veterans. We had 3 Canadian veterans. And then 4 American veterans all diving today. It was awesome. Now I could only afford 3, but it was awesome. It was great dive, 2 dives. And next year, doing the same thing, Panama City diving. We're going to go to Blue Green Vacations Bayside Resort and Spa, where I have a timeshare. I am getting the presidential suite, which it opens up in a couple weeks. But I'm at a level where I can get that, and it fits 8 people. And it's got a wonderful view of the bay. It's amazing. Second announcement before we get to Alex, Ton Tavern. I want to put a shout out to this guy on Instagram. His handle is Pogue Actual 1169. He is a master gunnery sergeant who has been basically giving us a 411 on what the Marine Corps is supposed to be like. It's a fun little podcast. It's fun little videos he does. But he just shared a video about the Ton Tavern yesterday. In 24 hours, they brought 168 new 1775 club members, and you're going to ask me, what is a 1775 club? Well, the 1775 club is a new partnership we have with the Ton, where if you pay $17.75 a month for a year or a one-time payment of $213, you are a member of the Ton Tavern. It's an amazing place because Ton Tavern is the home of the United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps, and 4 other organizations that were founded in the 1700s that are still alive today. So it would behoove you to join. I know Alex did. I know I'm a member. Fleek, waiting on you, waiting on one. $17.75. Cheaper than a VFW membership, cheaper than a Marine Corps League membership, cheaper than a Freemason membership. Come on, you can't go wrong. And you get a t-shirt, certificate, and a free beer in Philadelphia, because that's where our guest is currently now, in Philadelphia. And she is going to be there in November for the big party and the party.
Whoop, whoop.
But Fleek, that's it. That's all I got. We had a great time. Thank you to TSP. Thank you to Minutes Wisely for making this happen. Thank you, Panama City Diving. And thank you for our guest's new invention, because it helped me get to sleep every single night. And for the past 45 days, I've been using this, and I shit you not. And by the way, Alex, we can't swear on this thing. It's not a problem.
Fucking fabulous. Yeah.
Fucking fabulous. Her app, she's going to talk about this for at least 20, 30 minutes. Her app is an amazing modality, and I can't wait for her to talk about it. But that's all I got. Fleek, do you want me to introduce our guest?
Yeah, let's hear it, man. Let's just jump in this thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, veterans, civilians, listeners abroad, I want to introduce you to my very, very good friend, Alexandra Janelli. You can call her Alex. I've known her for forever. I've known her for so long. I swear to God, she is an amazing woman. Her resume speaks for herself. She's on LinkedIn. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's everywhere. And I remember to press the heart on everything she does, because it's freaking amazing. But she's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I am going to let you take over. Alex, would you please introduce yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Listen, the cheers. I feel so welcome. Thank you. Yeah, my name's Alexandra. Andrew and I have known each other amazingly since high school. Andrew was a senior when I was a freshman, and I just remember my friend Ashley and I just being like, "Oh my God, we love Andrew." And we were like the Andrew's
Boy.
biggest fan club. Um,
Oh my
so he
God,
graduated and then went on
that
to
was a long
college.
time ago.
It was a long time ago, but you know, I think the friendships you make in high school, you can pick them right back up at any point, and I think that's been proven time and time again through what we go through. I would imagine same thing in the service, and you know, you make tried and true whatever you're doing. So, my story, a little bit about my background. I started in environmental consulting and decided that when I moved to Chicago with my ex, that it was time to change careers. And it was either, what am I going to do? I don't know. And somehow landed into the field of hypnotherapy. So what does that mean? I use hypnosis to help people create change in their life. And I am sure everybody's first association with hypnosis is stage hypnosis, or it's always in movies. And thank you, Hollywood. You've done a terrible job at making my industry legitimate and not scary. But I've really made it my passion over the last 15 years to bring hypnotherapy to the forefront as an alternative treatment that can help people. So over the years, I started my practice in Chicago working with Northwestern students just because we were there for graduate school. I then moved back to New York, and that's really where my journey began. I've worked with top celebrities, Grammy Award winners, all the way to CFOs and children alike. It's something that I personally have done, and that's really where my passion for it came. I was an avid finger picker. So I would, Andrew, you probably maybe remember this about me, but in high school, people used to call, in high school and college, they called me hamburger hands because my hands were so gross because I picked them. It was disgusting. I'm like, yes, it was so gross. And I couldn't stop. And doctors wanted to put me on very high dosage of medication. I have nothing against medication. I just knew it wasn't the path for that. Within one session of doing hypnotherapy, I stopped, and I just was mind blown. And I don't say this lightly because I'm kind of skeptical of hypnosis when I went into it, but I was like, wow, how is it that one session can change so much when I've been in therapy for so many years? I always preface that with, I love therapy. I am a big proponent. At no point am I here to tell you not to go to therapy, but hypnotherapy is a wonderful adjunct to that. And we can certainly talk about that, but I won't bore you from the beginning. And really, it's just been my mission to help people. I sort of fell into the world of anxiety because I've suffered from terrible anxiety. It turned out a lot of my finger picking stemmed from that. I think we all naturally have anxiety to some level, but it's just my goal is not to take that away fully. You can't, but to give you the tips, tools, and ways to really start reprogramming that from a subconscious mind. And I have worked in the wellness sphere for a very long time. I've owned a spa up in New York City that had 15 treatment rooms, 5,000 square feet of space, way too much. I think I was overly ambitious. Then
Jesus.
whittled that down to do a smaller space here in Philadelphia after we closed the New York office. And then I created Burble. So the Burble story really is an interesting one because it comes from a place of seeing in my private practice all that can be accomplished and knowing that not everyone can afford to come see me, nor are they in the New York or Philly area. So how do I bring this to more people to experience? And that came through this idea of an app in 2015. I started development on it. And as a solopreneur at the time, the development process was awful. And I just decided it wasn't time to do it and put it on the back burner. And during COVID, I realized I had time. It was the time, found my CTO, and we have just been on a mission to help people and really creating this app that is user friendly, easy to understand, and not only works, but is enjoyable to use. So I'm pretty biased. I think it's amazing. Andrew, you've gotten to use it, but the feedback we've gotten has just been so positive
It's
and heartwarming that
pretty awesome. I mean,
I think it's a game changer.
I was a little skeptical, and then, but I mean, I wanted to help you out as a fellow Brooks kid. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll give it a try. Love it. I don't go a day without doing it. Like either morning, night, when I'm in the hot sauna, boom, I slap on the theta waves, boom. I mean, last night I did the rocket ship, I did rainfall. And by the way, I have to ask, is that your voice putting me to sleep?
Yeah, that's me. So
Yes.
it's really interesting. So to give some context to what Andrew's talking
I
about,
thought it sounded like you.
Burble, it's me. And it's funny because Andrew knows me when I grew up with a lisp, which you can probably hear right now. And it's funny, my sister is always like, I'm sorry, who is this person doing hypnosis? Because it's not you. And I learned a lot of how to control my mouth to get their lisp to become much lower and smaller. So it is me, interestingly enough. So to put some context into what Andrew's talking about, Burble is a hypnosis app that allows you to create custom sessions. So similar to meditation, where you might go in and find a recording that you like listening to meditate. Burble allows you to customize that, meaning in step one, you're going to pick what you want to work on, whether that's, it could be anything from weight loss to manifestation to money issues, sleep, anxiety. We have a whole range of different things, new content being added daily. And then you're going to pick how you want to relax. And this is where the differentiator comes in, because I realized in my private practice, everyone goes into the hypnotic state or falls asleep differently. Right? So some people can fall asleep in 5 minutes. Some people it takes 20. And so you get to customize how long you want that process of getting into the hypnotic and subconscious state. So you might be able to pick, I want to walk down a staircase. I want to go to the beach. I want to then get in a hot bath, and toggle them together. You're then going to pick how you want the session to end. Because let's face it, sometimes you want to go to sleep and the recording's like, now wake up. And you're like, but I don't want to wake up. I want to go to sleep. Or you can chill and meditate for a little bit. So, and then you're going to pick the music you want underlaid in it. And all of that is being put together on our back end with our AI to create a custom recording. So even if you created the same session the next night, the audio will still be different. So you're constantly getting fresh audio, because that drove me nuts that I would listen to a recording over and over, and then I'd be like, well, I know what they're going to say, so now it's not relaxing. So we troubleshot a lot of that. And then we've just added in new features, and what you're talking about, the theta waves, we have just binaural beats that you can go in and listen to for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, put them on while you're relaxing. Heck, I always say if you're having a meltdown, go to the bathroom, put them on, like no one bugs you in the bathroom, or just listen to them while you're working. It does help and train the mind and cause a shift in brain waves. We also have a chatbot feature in there, which is like a coach to help you just get to the bottom and root of things. And then finally, daily activities to just keep you engaged and have fun throughout the day. Because mental health does not have to be heavy. It can actually be quite easy and fun.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name Burble?
That's a great question. So interestingly enough, when we were talking about company names, we were either going to go with something very direct in the ad of like at-home hypnosis. And it was like, well, what if we deviate from hypnosis? Then we're kind of screwed, right? So I was like, I just always loved the idea of Google. Like, that's just a fun word to say. What is it? No one really knows, but they made something around it. Um, and the more we looked up just fun words, burble came. And I was like, oh, burble, which means to just like mutter softly. I was like, well, it kind of that works. It works. And we just went with it. Unfortunately, burble.com was taken, which is where the go comes from. So it's go burble. And we were like, okay, that's very action oriented and what have you. But I just learned, interestingly enough, this year that a burble has to do with skydiving also. So I don't know if you guys are skydivers.
Nope. Scuba
It has
diver,
to
that's
do
it.
with something with I was going to say you guys are water guys. But a burble has to do with the parachute and something that happens with the parachute. I can't remember exactly, but it does have that meaning, which is why you'll
I should have
find.
asked that Marine Recon guy today. I wish I had known, because he has like 1,000 jumps. Like, and he would have known
Oh,
that.
wow,
But
that's a lot.
I'll ask him. I got his phone number. He's actually going to be one of our next guests. But he's a good guy. Knows Alexi. Yeah, I'll ask him the next time we talk to him. Definitely.
Yeah, it's totally wild. And I was like, I had no idea. So now you've learned something new. I can't tell you the full story of it, but go look it up.
We're always learning something, Alex. Always, always.
Students and the teacher.
Well, if you go to burble.com, the other Burble, it's a black screen and just says burble.com. I'm like, where you guys doing?
As soon as we have the money, we're gonna go buy it. Like,
Heck yeah.
it will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. Wayne's World.
That's so random. So, owns that?
That is just so cool, Alex.
Yeah.
And tell me about like your degrees, because like I have you I'm friends with you on LinkedIn, and I just can't keep track of like where you've been, what you've done, what you've studied, like how did you like get into this? Like what did you study to get into this hypnosis?
Great. Yeah. So interestingly enough, I got my undergraduate degree at the University of Miami because I didn't get in anywhere else, if we were really being honest about it. Brooks was like, oh, where are you gonna go? I'm like, I don't know, wherever I get in. So I got into University of Miami as a coxswain to do some rowing. Decided not to row when I got there, and got my degree in conservation biology and landscape ecology. I ended up going back to school, obviously, as I mentioned, for hypnotherapy. It's so funny because there's not a lot of programs out there to do hypnotherapy in the clinical sense, but I did find an accredited program out of California called the Hypnosis Motivational Institute. And they had a distance learning program that I was very skeptical. And now this is 2009, before distance learning was really a thing. And the program was fabulous. And then I ended up mentoring under my hypnotherapist that I had seen for 2 years afterwards, who really taught me so much in terms of what he had learned over the years. He was also going back to school for psychology to get a psychology degree. So he ended up having his master's. So I have learned a lot. I ended up randomly going back to school for another certification in coaching through IPEC. And interestingly enough, I never wanted to be a coach. I still cringe a little at the term. That's my own personal stuff. But one thing that it taught me was really how to ask the right questions in order to help someone find their own solutions. And that was really a game changer. Because again, we don't have the answers as your hypnotherapist or coach. We're there to help you find what it is you need in order to then put that into patterning And that probably gives way to this idea of like, what is hypnosis? I'm sure a lot of people have seen stage hypnosis. Yes, that is real, what is happening in front of you. However, the person they're pulling on stage, they are a highly suggestible person. So let me step back and start from the beginning for you. Hypnosis is really just a deep state of relaxation with an acute focus. And you go through the hypnotic state twice during the day, once at night when you're falling asleep and once in the morning when you're waking up. So it is a natural state. Anybody can go into it. You go into it when you're reading a book. You go into it when you're watching a movie. You go into it when you're driving, right? When you're driving, you're not thinking about every gas pedal push. You're not thinking about when you're stopping necessarily. You're just on autopilot. And that's your subconscious mind taking over your reactions, your behaviors, your emotions. So when you're reading a book, what's happening, think of a book kind of like a hypnotic script. It is telling you a story that your mind is then processing the words without you processing each letter. And it's turning it into visuals that you are then becoming influenced by, right? How many times have you read a book and you're like, oh my God, for me, it's, oh my God, they're going to kiss. Or in a movie, I'm like totally freaked out because I'm becoming influenced by that visual because my mind has focused in and it's being open to that influence. And so, that's the premise of the hypnotic state, is that we're relaxing the body first. Right? Hypnosis and meditation are very similar in that they both run a parallel line of, first, we're going to tell you how to relax your body. Then I'm going to guide you into like how to refocus your mind, not push out all thoughts. It's just, well, if your mind wants to think, which it does, let's give it things to think about, like the wiggle in your toes or how it feels to be sitting on a chair. And your mind will then slowly, acutely begin to follow in. And so it's in that place when you've begun to relax the body and then the mind that you've opened the subconscious. And what we're doing there is offering to the subconscious what life can be like, because we learn through association, meaning everything from the moment you're born until today is learned through the experience you have. So if you're bit by a dog as a kid, you develop the pain pleasure principle of like, dogs are painful. And therefore, I have this association built in that dogs are scary. And whenever I see a dog, I'm going to behave in a certain way, even though the logical mind will kick in to go, it's on a leash, it's behind a fence, it's a tiny chihuahua, whatever it might be, to help you. But those reactions, behaviors, and emotions are going to come first. And so what I work with clients is when they come in, it's like, one, I have a fear of dogs, but I don't want to feel this way anymore because I want to be a groomer, or my significant other has a dog and I want to love it. And so we're working to go, let's open the mind and offer an alternative that can resonate. It has to resonate. So if I was like, you're going to love fluffy, poopy, moochy, doggy woggies, and your mind's like, I was never taught like that. That is ridiculous. It's going to reject the suggestion. But if I'm like, being around a dog can be just as comfortable as being around people that you love, or around a goldfish, whatever that resonates. That's the suggestion you're going to offer, and the mind's going to go, oh, I actually like that. That feels right. And because you're tapping into the subconscious mind, you're now working with where the behavior started versus trying to use your logic and willpower alone, which only accounts for about 5 to 10%.
So you use your powers for good.
Oh, sorry.
I use my powers for good. Yes.
Have you ever used them for evil?
I mean, how do you think I got married?
I was gonna,
Twice.
I was gonna ask you if you ever used it against your spouse.
Of course. No, he's like, get away from me. Like, no, that is not happening. I primed him with my charm, good looks, and cadence.
Can you get him to eat a lemon with your powers?
He probably likes lemons. Now, can I get him to stop drinking beer?
Well, that's
no.
evil.
And
See,
the
that's
answer is
evil.
no, because he likes drinking beer and he doesn't want to give it up. So I can't make you do anything that you wouldn't want to do. Point and case.
Well, I offer up my wife because I need you to fix her problem with driving into Nashville. She hates it. The traffic sucks. And she is so, she used to not be like this, but now she's just so, rigid when it comes to driving. Those double FedEx trucks, hates them. Can't stand them.
They're scary, right? Because
They
like,
are scary.
and she's
I'm not
obviously
scared.
built an
She is.
association. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
She,
where I would start with that is looking at it to go, when did this start? What, a lot of things are fear-based, right? There's some kind of fear that's below the
yeah.
surface, and that's, whether it's subconscious or unconscious, right? A very deep trauma. It varies, but usually you'll start when that all began and what it means and how do they want to feel? Again, I could be like, you're going to love driving to Nashville, but maybe that's not our goal. It's just feel comfortable. And we can try to pull up the past memories of when she did feel comfortable versus what she's feeling now.
I've given her the Burble App. I don't know if she's tried it or not, but I'm going to make her.
In our due time.
I'm going to make her. I'm
Are you trying
make
to
her.
fix her? Remember, therapy
Katrina,
101,
I'm making you do this, okay?
Unless they want to be fixed.
But
What is
this
is your husband?
Huh?
Is your husband help you with this, or is this your project?
No, this is my baby. Yep, this is my
It's all her.
soul project. He's a pediatrician, so he's out there doing
nice.
God's work too. But this is
I can't believe you're married
moral
to a
support
doctor.
always.
I can't believe you're married to a doctor.
Who else is going to take care of my
Oh
hypochondria?
my God, she said it! Oh my God!
No, he's always like, you're fine.
All of our Brooks School friends would be so proud.
My gosh, so proud. I know. Mrs. Toy, I am not in the infirmary today, trying to hide.
But Alex, what you're doing is just, it's fantastic. I know we've had some conversations before about what's going to happen in the future, and I'm not gonna give any hints or anything like that, but
Stay tuned.
Unless you want to talk about it. I don't know. I mean, or is it too soon?
Yeah, no, I think, there's a lot of stuff Andrew and I have been working on and vetting out. Obviously everything's a process, but it's always been one of our core values as a company to obviously help others. I mean, no one goes into business not to make money, but my core value is like really the purpose of this app is to help people. And we had applied for a grant with the NIH to help veterans in particular. And unfortunately, we did not get the grant, but that mission does not change. I understand, I'm not a veteran. No one in my direct or immediate family is in the service. But the more I talk with veterans, the more I realize that there's a lot of stigmas around therapy or even the word mental health or mental illness can be really stagnating, that if there's a tool where you don't necessarily have to talk about it, it can be forward focused, meaning a lot of people don't want to go back and relive their trauma. And trauma can be anything from a big T to little t, right? A dog bite to apparently my trauma when they regressed me back was I was left on a carpet after waking up from a nap and everyone was in the kitchen.
We're getting blown up in Iraq.
To a child's mind. Yeah. I mean, these are real traumas. It doesn't matter, how your mind associates it.
That's a big T.
That is a huge T. That is a huge T. So, it's how do you move forward from it? There's a time and place for therapy. Again, that's the circle. It's like if you need to go back. But ours is, well, how can we move forward and what can that look like and how can we help that and gain that confidence and trust in self and, whatever it might be that you need. So there's a lot that Burble right now is in our very young, early stages, but, I would love to offer a code out to you guys to offer to your followers for we can gift it or however, a certain number of them, get it out there. We can launch it however you want to launch it. But, most importantly, it's for people to just recognize that there's alternatives that they can try, right? The only victim is a person who has no choices or options. And so I'm trying to just provide more options and alternatives and educate the hypnosis. It's not what you think it is. It can be, but it's mostly not.
That's
very
great.
Relaxing.
No, that's great because there are actually there are a lot of people that we've spoken to, we've interviewed that are going the holistic route. One of our guys, Top Gun pilot, we interviewed him. He's doing ibogaine and he's doing no fallen heroes. And for the fighter pilots that are landing and taking off and all the stress that goes in their program. But then there's also Grunt Style Foundation out of Texas. Those guys, I mean, we're doing suicide prevention hikes, Irreverent Warriors, which are now Grunt Style and Irreverent Warriors are actually meshing and trying to, to kill the 22 a day number, which is really actually 44 a day, because there are some states that don't actually keep up with those numbers. And this,
Right.
and this thing that you're giving, that you have made, not giving out, but that you have made, is just, like you said, an adjunct. I've done, and now me as an example, I have done every single modality known to man for the past 11 years. CBT, exposure therapy, group therapy, EMDR. I mean, you name it, I've tried it. And Save a Warrior, Irreverent Warriors. All these different modalities I've tried. NLP, which that didn't really work out too well. But like, this is a great adjunct to our brain housing group, to our to keep our toolbox, which that's a military term, tools in the toolbox.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we can open it up, we can get out a tool, and we're like, okay, we can use this. Burble can help you in the morning. It helps you meditate. It helps you go to sleep. It helps you relax. It helps you with chronic pain. It's like the one-stop shop for mental health. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you can trademark that.
There's a lot
You can trademark that.
on it. Already did. Just did it on the side here. I mean, let's face it. The suicide rates. It's awful when you don't want to live in the world that can be so beautiful. But I also get how dark it can feel. I've been there. Like, I'm not the first person to have wanted to commit suicide or thought about it. I know that it's a prevalent problem that, listen, no one's talking about. And not that I want to normalize suicide or anything, but life can be very hard. And when you don't have the tools, resources, or community to help you, that's even scarier. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Burble is the end all. It's going to cure everything. We are a wellness app, not clinical, but we're hoping to grow that. But even if, I always say your mind is like a cup, and if your cup is so full with stress and worry and anxiety, it just flows over. And so even if you listen to binaural beats for 10 minutes and it empties out the cup a little bit, that's just a little bit more that you can take in of the world around you to do the work. Because again, when you're in that, I'm at the effect of life. Yeah, it's like when I'm at the effect of my life and the horrible things that are around me, 99% of us are going to go into the shutdown mode where we take no action at all. And it's easier. And that's where having people who are caregivers and can come in, can scoop us up, support us, elevate us. We can borrow from them, like, their confidence in us. So, if nothing else, if Burble can just give you that much more space, wonderful. If it can shift the whole world around you, then amazing. Like, I'm out there doing my job. But
Alex,
again,
it's an added bonus, I swear. I mean, Save a Warrior is this. Like, I went 4 years ago to Save a Warrior. It's in Hillsborough, Ohio. Jake Clark, he founded this organization out of the back of his car in 2012. He has helped over 3,000 veterans and first responders not think about suicide anymore. He goes back to the 0 to 4 age where trauma is introduced, this generational stuff that people are talking about, and it saved my life. It was great. And this added bonus to Burble is just exacerbates all of the other training that I've received. And I just my mom wants it. I sent it to my mom. She wants to talk to you very, very badly. I'll see her this weekend.
Talk to your mama.
I mean, she remembers you. She's like, oh my God, Alex Janelle. I'm like, she was your coxswain. I was like, no, she wasn't my coxswain. She was with the girls. But she was on the rowing team. I mean, I knew her. I mean, and it's just
stick together, us rowers.
That's right, we do. By the way, Henley is starting in like 2 days. And I know, did you go to Henley in 97?
No, we got invited to the Nationals for the first time as a girls' boat my senior year, and I was too busy going off to the senior parties to go.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh,
Crack you up.
yeah. Lisa Bottomley's senior party. That's where I went in '96. Oh, I was very
Yeah.
drunk.
Our
Very drunk
priorities
at
were
that party.
very different then, right? Yeah.
Very, very different. Oh my God. Okay, we're not getting into embarrassing stories. Uh, that would
How dare
embarrass
you
you.
all?
But yeah, it's just you're amazing. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad to have you on the podcast, and I'm glad Fleek. I'm glad you're here hearing about this because we want to. I don't know. My thought is to I'm going to start sending it out to my veterans. You give me the in nominis dominus, and I said like tonight, boom, it's going out to like 5,000 people.
Wild.
Is
Thank
there
you. I
is there a
mean,
cost?
Huh?
yeah, it's a great question.
Good.
What
Hey,
I'd love
great
to
question.
do for you guys is to first donate 100 subscriptions. We can pick out, the code and we can launch it, or I can say the code right here to the first 100 people who are listening because they love you guys. We can do the whatever you'd like, the TSP 30. Or whatever, we'll figure it out. But it's $14.99 a month or $69 for the year. And again, we try to make it understandable. You can cancel any time for the monthly. Try it for a month if you love it. We always have a 7-day free trial if you want a code for that too. Again, the more options you have, the better equipped you are to handle stuff. Life is not easy, and I think there's my only complaint with the self-help culture is that we're supposed to be happy all the time, but we're not. It just gets scary when it's like, how long is it going to last? How deep does it go? So
Yeah.
True.
I can definitely relate to that because on December 10th, when I sat across my doctor and he told me I had cancer, my whole world was crumbling down.
yeah,
But felt myself sliding for like 3 days, but then I stopped myself and I said, no, I have to be positive because if I get into a depression, like the wheels will fall off. So I tried my best to be positive, and I did what I could, and I feel like I stayed positive. I'm very vocal about cancer now. I started a podcast about living with cancer, and so my
I
whole
love
goal
that.
is to help people. Um, I don't know. I'm sure people get tired of me talking about it like I feel like sometimes I feel like people think I'm just talking to talk or whatever, but I truly feel like if I can save a life, man, like why not talk about it? People don't talk about prostate cancer, and it's the number 2 killer in men.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that you went through that. With that said, I think that from really tragic incidences can come some really amazing passion and purpose to
Yeah,
set
for
the
sure.
life
Hmm.
path on fire and get really inspiration from it. So please talk about it. I know my business partner and really best friend, she had cervical cancer and she's like, I didn't know what to do. It like blew up my whole world. And
Yeah,
how could it not? I mean, you're facing this idea of death and the big C.
yeah,
So, but the more stressed you get out about it, that doesn't help your body heal. And so, even just that relaxation part of
yeah,
it can help just
exactly. Yeah.
balance.
If you're stressed out and you're in depression, you're not healing. That's for damn sure.
No, your body takes a lot of energy, calories, and mental energy to heal. Uh, but healing is a process, and it's how do we be patient with ourselves in those moments because you are, again, stress response states are real. And it's what gets you out and how quickly do you do it? So
Scuba
I
diving. That gets me out of my funk. Scuba diving. Definitely.
love that for you. I mean, go swim with the fishies.
No,
Fish
I
are
just
calming again.
today was he's an innovator. He is amazing. He started this podcast like 4 years ago because he wanted to record veteran stories, and I'm so grateful for him because he asked me, he's like,
I
Andrew,
love that.
you want to help me out? And I was like, fuck yeah, I will. And we've had over 140 it's at 140 episodes now, I think, at least. It's just
Our
crazy.
anniversary is this weekend, 4th of
And
July
he's an
weekend.
innovator.
Anniversary.
I know. Yeah, wait, is today the day?
Technically, well, 4th of July weekend. So when this episode goes, you will
Oh, it's
literally
gonna
be
be
our
our anniversary.
anniversary.
Our 4 years.
Yeah.
We should give away a T-shirt or I saw an Andy's ice cream or
Burble
something.
t-shirt. Yeah. Oh my
Hey,
gosh, we'll give away 100.
we'll do a trade.
How many episodes have you done? This is what we're going to do. How many episodes? You said 150?
I'm gonna count. After we get off, I'm gonna count how many. I will text it to you, and then yeah, I'll do that.
That's how many we're going to give out. That's how many subscriptions to anybody and everybody.
Oh my! Oh,
We want-
Yeah.
that's amazing. Oh, that's
So
awesome.
like if it's your
Hey,
150th episode, we'll give you 150.
you
free
gotta write.
burbles
You
to
gotta
help
write
out.
something. If you wouldn't mind writing something that's kind of cool. Send it to me. I will send it to Fleet. Send it to both of us, and we will pass it out to my 4,994 people. And whoever takes the bait, they get a T-shirt.
Love it. Love it. It doesn't get better. Free is always my friend. And then
Free
you're
is
going to
good.
love it so much. So
Us veterans,
yeah, I
we
can't
like
wait for
free.
my tune. I know. I can't wait for my tune stuff. I was like, that free beer is going to taste quite good.
Oh yeah.
Ton. Tune?
Which,
Ton.
by the way,
T-U-N.
Ton Tavern.
Ton.
1775. It was old historic Philadelphia, which there's a sign
So cool.
under 95. That's where the Ton originally stood. 250 yards away, in that same direction, going this way, is a parking lot that is going to be the home. The Pennsylvania Freemasons gave us that land. We bought it, and it's on Second and 19th or Second and Congress, or it's right there. It's by the water. It's by William Penn's little alleyway.
Yep.
Um,
Sure.
It's going to be a two-story. It's going to look exactly like the Ton Tavern
That's
before
so cool.
before they tore it down in 1781. It's gonna be a recruiting office.
I will be there in November.
Oh yeah, I'll be up there November 6th. So if you and your husband want to come up to the timeshare, my timeshare in Hershey, Pennsylvania, it's 94 miles away. I've already traced it out. If you guys want to come up for a couple days, let me know. It sleeps 8 people, so I got more than enough room.
So fun.
I'll be there
I love
November
it.
6th to the 12th. So I'll be there for the festivities and a little bit more.
Everyone's like, we're coming, Andrew. We're going to be
And
there.
I want Geno's. I want it.
You know what? I'm going to take somewhere better.
I want it bad.
Don't hate me, Philly. But everyone in Philly knows it's like Pat and Geno's. There's better. But we can do that. We can do them.
Okay. All right. I will go. You tell me where to go, and I'll go eat. That's fine.
All right. Fair enough.
Fleet,
Hey,
do
Alex,
you?
by the way, you'll be episode 141 on
Okay.
Sunday.
Is it 141?
I like that number.
41. Okay. Thank you, Fleet. Appreciate it.
I just looked it up, so yes.
Were you sitting there counting? I saw you
he
bobbing
was.
your head. You're
He
like,
was. Are you counting the Spotify? What are you counting? The Spotify?
No, I jumped over to Buzzsprout and it tells me how many episodes are.
They actually keep the numbers. Now, Spotify, it stops numbering them after like 96, and then you have to count up. It's just crazy.
oh, that's wild.
So
I don't know, Fleek, are you? We could be here. We could do a part 2 on this, and we probably will do a part 2 because Alex is amazing. She's awesome. Fleek, do you have any? I know it's 1805. So go ahead.
Hey, Andrew, I will say she's the best looking guest we've had in a long, actually forever.
No fucking doubt.
Thank you.
You do that.
Thank you. I will totally take that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen. By the way, she did not look like that in high school. Okay, she did not.
No. I
Her
know
hair
better with age.
was all over the place. It was crazy. She's still a great person. She was awesome in high school. Now she's even better because veterans are going to love her. First responders are going to love her of what she's doing for that community.
I hope so. And again, to everyone out there who is listening and does try Burble, there is a suggestion box. It is super imperative for us to be catering to you, our users. If there is something that you're not seeing on there, please drop us a suggestion on the suggestion tab in the profile. We can make content really quickly. So if you were like, hey, I'd love to see something on fear of riding in elevators, we'll get that up quick. Like these emails, we're a small company, don't go to just like a random person over in Nowhereville. They come to me and my team. So we can make that happen real fast. And that's important that we're helping people.
Awesome.
That's what they want.
Andrew.
Did you mute me?
Yeah, because it wasn't raining there or something.
Hey, it's raining, dude. It's raining right now.
It sounds like it's pouring.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
gonna say,
it sounds like Burble in my car right now.
It's burbling. It's bubbling. Burbling.
I'm burbling right now.
Babbling.
hey, do you have the questions?
I have a question, no, because it's on my phone, but pick a number. Do you have them? Because I can't get to them and be on the podcast at the same time.
It'll take me a second to bring it
Hey,
up.
I will ask her the first question. You find the follow-up question. Okay, Alex.
All right, I'm ready.
I need your favorite number, 1 through 10. And obviously, Fleek, we're going to have to change the questions to any service-related question to, I guess, life or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think my favorite number, let's go with 4.
4. Haven't had 4 in a long time.
All right. So the question for a veteran, we could definitely reword it. Can you tell us about a time you witnessed extraordinary courage or camaraderie among your colleagues? Supposed to be comrades, but I'll change it to colleagues.
Nice.
Great question. Ooh, I love that. So weirdly, the first thing that comes to mind was COVID. And that's not the greatest time to remember, but I think there was something really beautiful about how people were banding together to help each other in the scariest of times, right? Like the fact that I had a $27,000 lease also up in New York City for my spa, and all of my renters, like for example, all my renters, because we were a partial rental facility, my landlord, everyone was so helpful to band together to make magic happen. And just seeing like the kindness of people checking in and making sure everyone is okay, because it was a lonely time. It was really dark for a lot of people. Like, and scary. Just seeing like how the world sort of, everyone was going through it. There was no one not affected by COVID, right? In terms of how the world was functioning. But just to see that the world was like, hey, let's do this together. You know, obviously later there were all the micro and macro things, but I'm talking on that micro level of community. And that just made me really emotional. It still makes me emotional to think about the love and the kindness and the creativity of humankind to make things work, I think is amazing. Like that's creativity has always been my like wow word and feature of things. Like the creativity of what people came up with to like survive and get through that. So I think that would be my answer.
That's awesome.
Very good.
Let's go into the cookbook, Blake.
Yeah.
Let's go into the cookbook.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because he actually made a cookbook. He did. Cooking with Squidly.
Fleeky is busy.
He takes quotes from our interviewees and he put them in this amazing cookbook, which you can purchase. Flake, do you have a copy? Flake, do you have a copy?
Copies. I don't have a copy to show right here, but they're in my trunk.
Okay.
I passed.
Well, find it. I know how to find you now.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, if you don't find it, I'm going to send you a link
Fair
to
enough.
it. And
That's great.
we'll try to get
only
Flake to
cookbook
sign
in
it.
America that saved lives.
I love that. I feel like you're on your road to like amazing. Oh, you're already there. Amazing thing.
Oh, we're getting
Cookbook.
there.
You look like you're a good cook. Actually, I would probably eat at your house.
People love my cooking.
He does.
I'm not just saying that,
He's a
but
mean cook.
No.
yeah, if you came
It's
into
your
my house, I
secret power.
guarantee you're never going to want to leave.
Barbecue's
Okay.
like a
I mean,
mother.
don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, barbecue, seafood. I mean, you name it. I just love to cook. So
He does
I tell
his.
people,
He does eggs on a flat top.
Not
It's
my
crazy.
superpower.
I just wrapped up my. I had after my surgery, my surgeon sent me to pelvic floors physiotherapy. I did that for a couple months. I just graduated from that on Monday, but
Yay.
last weekend I showed up with a big tray of smoked ribs and I fed them at the therapy. There's probably like 5 or 6 people there, but the next week when I came by there, everybody was like, "Oh my God, how did you make those?" And I was like, I can't really just tell you. I mean,
You're like, here's my cookbook. Here's my secret sauce.
cookbook.
It's called Fleek sauce.
Yeah. So yeah,
Tell me the fleek.
but I
Yeah.
tell everybody, so there's a lot of division in this country, politically, there's a lot. So what I say is, with all the division in the world, what does food do? Brings us all
Brings you
together.
together.
Brings us
There's
together.
nothing more unite. That is
Yeah.
one key thing that I make sure my kids are still very young, but that we sit and we have meals together
Yes.
and we
So
talk.
when my kids were younger, we always made it a point that we all ate dinner at the same time, and we all sat at the dinner table. I had one of my wife's niece, and my kids were very young at the time. They're all grown out of the house now, but at the time, one of our nieces came over for dinner, and we served all the food on the table and everything, and we all sat down, and my niece literally looked at me and said, "Hey, Uncle Richie, aren't you gonna go in the living room to eat dinner? Because that's where her dad always went." I was like, "Oh my God, that's kind of sad."
Oh, we're gonna sit together. Andrew, it reminds me of we went to boarding school, but they used to do sit down dinners.
All
We
the
had to
time.
go.
Had to go.
And
Had to
I
go.
loved it. I had to go. Yeah. And dress up and look nice.
Yeah, which,
Yeah, I
by the
love
way, no more dress code anymore, and no more dish crew. Like, the kids
What?
are no
That
longer
made you a
punished.
human.
I had so many dish crews to do, it's not even funny.
Who didn't? Yes, that was part of your punishment. What do they punish them
You
with
had
now?
to do at least 6 hours of dish crew. If you wanted the weekend off, you had to do some kind of a community service thing to get signed off so you could have the weekend off. It's
Man,
crazy.
they've gone soft. I
Yep.
didn't even think
Hey,
dish crew was that bad.
Alex, you and I are going to write a letter, and Mr. Packard, if you're listening, which, by the way, you're going to hear this anyway because I'm going to put this up on LinkedIn, and then I'm sending it to Gage, to Emily, to Sarah, and to John. When this thing goes YouTube, I'm sending this to all of you. Both of us are for the dress code, big time.
For the dress code, it really instills something in you.
It does. It does.
It does.
We're
It
going to do it
keeps you honest.
nicely. We're going to do it nicely. We're not going to be mean about it. We're going to do it nicely.
No, COVID ruined everything with clothing because now
Yep.
now I just live in athleisure wear. What? No, I used to dress nice. Yes.
Oh, look at the
It's a-
airport. Look at all these people in sweatpants and
Now
leggings.
we
And,
sound like our parents. Matt,
Oh.
we sound like our parents.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, I was at Brooks when was I there? I was there like 2 months ago, and they were in chapel, and they were all wearing sweatpants and like their sweatshirts of all the colleges they got into, and then some teacher told me I'm wearing this cap. I'm in the vestibule of the chapel, and he's like, "Hey, you gonna remove that cap?" I'm like,
That's
Wait.
the line.
"Wait, you're
That's
telling
the
me to
line.
remove my cap, but you guys aren't dressed up for chapel?" Okay, sure, no problem. Here you go. It's off. In my mind, I'm like, I want to
You're like
stomp
heaving.
the
You're like,
crap out
there
of you
goes
right
my
now.
donation.
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
know.
You're a Marine.
Hey.
That's the first thing you should have done. You're a damn Marine.
I know, dude. Hey, listen, you can't go full Marine up there because if you do that, they would be scared, and I would never be welcome back to Brooks ever again. Which I can't afford to not go back to Brooks because I'm on the alumni committee, man. I have to go back. Which, by the way, hey Alex, tomorrow I'm gonna put you in for the alumni board. By the way,
Put me on the board. I'm ready.
I will. I'm gonna tell Gage. I'm like, Gage, I think she would be great. Which, by the way, did she
know
get
what?
back to you yet?
She did. And I will get things done because I'm just going to hypnotize everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
It's a
But hey,
win-win.
Alex, thank you so much. Fleek, do you have any? I'm sorry, Fleek, do you have any other
I'm good,
questions?
man. Nope.
Hey,
I'm good.
Alex, this has been a treat. I'll call you. I'll call you next week. Have a great 4th. Fleek, have a great
Yes.
4th.
Yes,
and this
sir.
thing goes live on Sunday. It'll be on
Perfect.
Spotify, YouTube,
Yeah.
Buzzsprout, all
Central
the
Time.
I will
channels.
make sure to share and do you guys proud. Thank you for
Okay.
having me on and giving me
Hey,
a
we're gonna
platform
give
to
you
share what
props.
I'm doing.
I'm gonna give you props as soon as I get off this thing.
Worp. Appreciate you both. Fleek, I'm really glad to hear that you're recovered. Congrats on the
There. Thank you.
pelvic floor finalization and the rib party. Can't wait to see your book. And Andrew, I'll talk to you next week.
I will talk
is
to you
awesome.
very soon.
Definitely
You
follow up.
sly devil, you.
You
All right.
sly devil. See ya. Thanks for scuttlebutting.
Yes.
Bye,
Stick around
guys.
for a second. I gotta
Nice.
gotta make sure you upload it. So hold on after I hit stop. All right. Peace, everybody. See you next Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.